Hi everyone, Joe for JaspysCaseBreaks.com coming at you with a jumbo case of 2025 Bowman Baseball, brand new release. This is Pick Your Team 3. We had some deals going on here, some discounts, so thanks everybody for getting in. Remember, any and all paper base that come from this break will go to the customer that buys the paper base spot. That does not apply to numbered paper. Numbered paper will still go to their teams, obviously. So Monty with the paper base spot. Here's everybody else. Thanks everybody else. Appreciate you getting in to the action on a Wednesday. New release day. Brandon got last spot mojo with the Marlins. And again, Monty with the paper base spot. And here is the jumbo case. What was my favorite video game, Rex is asking. I grew up in an era where, as a child, there were no video games. My favorite game was Ball and Cup. That was the game. You try to flip the ball into the cup. Also, hoop and stick, or you try to you have a big hoop. And you keep it moving with a stick. Boy, that is hoop and stick. What a great game. Old hoop and stick, ball and cup. That was great. You know, I was a mean jacks player. You know, those little metal bits in the ball, you bounce the ball off. What a mean jacks player. And don't get me near marbles ring. You get me near marble ring, watch out, I'm going home with all your marbles. You're going to lose your marbles. Remember that Family Guy with the ball and cup? No, I don't. Yeah, a Marbles Pro chain. You know what else? What about that big wooden box with a maze and with holes in it, and then you have the ball roll around that box? Oh, so good at that. The wooden box with the ball bearing that goes around the maze, and you have to hold it this way and that, and you try to get it through the maze and into the hole at the end. Woo. The game where like a pinball style ball rolls down this way, and then you have to flick the bat and it hits it into a hole, and you can get a single, double, or a triple or something like that. Woo! Man, those were the days. Here's a Kobe Mayo die cut. And there's a Ichiro Kano Hernandez. No, not named after that Ichiro. How do I know? It says on the back of the baseball card. Shane was a pro at Nerf basketball. Brandon rocked a little Bop It. It's Fabian Lopez to $3.99. Nice. Here's a red rookie, James Wood. Ooh, piece of candy. Ed with the Nats. Now, Jumbo, we should have 3 autographs per box on average. And here's our first autograph. It's Jack Penny. 262 out of 499. David M. in Detroit. Picked up the Tigers straight up. Mattel Electronic Basketball, no. Maybe. Was it with like a small screen that was about this big? Here's a Marcos Torres, 10 out of 199. That'll be for the Rangers. That's going to go to Joe Downey. And here is a Johnny Formello, 101 out of 150. That's for the Mariners. That's going to go to Nathaniel. And there's a Yansky Noel, red rookie. Yanka with the Guardians. And we've got a Edglin Perez, 115 out of 150. Blue checkerboard autograph for Tristan and the Yankees. And that's just 2 autos. We're looking for 1 more. And of course, we'll do an autograph recap at the end of the break. Jack Penny's middle name is Nolan. Should have started with a C, then he would be J.C. Penny. Yeah. I guess so. I guess you want to be named after a failed retail box store. Is JCPenney still around? Maybe they're still around. There's a Rockstar Roki Sasaki insert for David M. and the Dodgers.
With all new places, there's all new experiences to enjoy. Hilton for the stay.
With USPS Ground Command, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
And hey, speaking of Jack Penny, there he is, 437 out of 499. Bowman first, refractor autograph for David and the Tigers.
I know chickens can't fly, but can they swim?
Deep campfire flavors inspire deep campfire thoughts. Only for summer at Cracker Barrel.
Sounds like the parents were going for more of a Jack Benny kind of reference, no? Instead of going for a J.C. Penney reference. They're still around. There's still one at the Fort Wayne Mall. I'm trying to think. I don't even know where the nearest J.C. Penney is here. I did run into someone many moons ago, and you know, she was an aspiring musician, and she got a gig where she sang the J.C. Penney jingle, or whatever that song was. I think where the tagline was, "It's all inside." It's all inside. That one. And I think she said she got paid like $5,000 for a day, you know, for like 5 or 6 hours of singing "It's All Inside" in just in different ways. So it'll be like, yeah, give us like a punk rock version of "It's All Inside." Now give us like, you know, more of a soulful "It's All Inside." All right, give us one that's soft. Give us one that's loud. And they just had her do that all day. Cut her a check and off she went. Greatness loading. James Wood, that's going to go to Ed and the Nats. Paulinho Santana, 266 out of 299 for the Rangers. That'll be for Joe. And a red Herson Waldrop. There are still 656 JCPenney stores in the United States, according to Rex. In their heyday, how many were there? To give us a comparison. Rockstar Roki. Our first autograph is E. Smith Pineda, first autograph of this box. Here's a Zach Showalter to $4.99 for the Cardinals. That's going to go to Matthew. Okay, so according to Google AI Overview, JCPenney reached its peak store count in 1973 with 2,053 stores. Now they're at 656. Yeah, how the mighty have fallen, Brian. Yeah, man, that's one of those. They used to be everywhere, right? Here's an Ichiro Kano Hernandez, 130 out of 499. Trevor, what's going on? JJ, I don't know where JJ is. He checked in yesterday. Said hello. You missed him. Nice red rookie Luis Angel Acuna. It's going to go to Carlos and the Mets.
They weren't messing around today, huh, Joe?
But no, they're not. I even changed the channel.
They were just like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen again. Like, we messed up, bro.
What's the score now?
We're up 141 to 94. It was funny because at the end of the first, the announcer was like, the way they're scoring, they're projected to score 168 points. And I'm like, bro, they're almost there. So there's like 5 minutes left.
Dude, I told you, that's how I thought this entire series was going to go. That's Condon's Colorado Card Cave. That'd be a good name if you opened up a hobby shop.
When you wake up with pink eye, you get your prescription fast. In like an hour. Walmart Express delivery. Who else Walmart can deliver that fast?
Here's Matt Chapman, yellow paper to 75. And a Jesus Mate, purple. 23 out of 250. He's one of the bigger names here. That's going to go to Tristan and the Brewers. There you go, Tris. It's better to lose by 50, I would think. That's going to go to the Giants. Kai with the Giants. I'm not sure, Trevor. Check the site, jaspyscasebreaks.com. But this break pretty much will bring me to the end of the night, unless that NT baseball fills. So pick your team. It's really hard for many retailers to hold on with Amazon. I guess so. I mean, Target's still around. Walmart's still around. I think it's hard for bad retailers to hold on with Amazon. You know, I think if you're, you know, the Kmarts and JC Penney's of the world may have fallen off, but you know, like Target and Walmart, you know, have still held on. Probably better than held on. You know, there's still a place for the old brick and mortar store. There's kind of like a know your audience sort of thing. I wonder if JCPenney was kind of caught in between, hey, are we a discount store like, you know, like Dollar General, but then Dollar General takes that space. And it's like, oh, and then are we more of like a, you know, kind of a notch up, maybe for hip college kid kind of thing, you know, Target stuff, but then they missed that window. And so then they kind of got left in the dust. You know, then we're like, are we going to sell clothes? And it's like, oh, well, then there's TJ Maxx and Marshalls and all in that group will take care of that window. And I think they sort of kind of got left in the dust a little bit in a rapidly changing retail landscape. There's the red rookie, Thomas Sagassi. That will be for the Cardinals, Matthew. At a meeting today with the boss and found out that Kroger is lowering price during many stores of the month. You're a pilot store for lowering price to get customers. Interesting. They start doing more TV and radio promotions. And sacrifice the almighty profit? Those $1 million bonuses that the CEO is getting? God forbid they lower some prices. Trevor mentioned the gold house. Oh, nice. It's sent. Well, I guess it all depends on how you feel about Jaden Daniels. If you're going to hold it, I would grade it and then hold it and hope that he becomes a Hall of Famer and wins a couple of Super Bowls by the end of his career. Here's Lucas Ramirez. Otherwise, I would sell it as soon as possible. There's Lucas Ramirez for the Angels. Jason for the Angels. Grizz will be saying, yeah, penny unwise and $1 short. The story of J.C. Penney. I feel like Sears got caught up in the same thing too. You know, at that point, you know, like if you don't pivot to certain, I mean, I guess that's the hard part. I don't know, like what do you pivot to? I don't know, you know. But there's Fran Yerber Montilla, 72 out of 75. Tigers. Goes to David. Right, yeah. You don't want Jaden to become C.J. Stroud unless you think Jaden's going to turn into the next Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. So that's all about... So it's always not negative like Brandon usually goes, but you know, there's obviously it could go the other way too. I don't know, Jaden Daniels feels a little different from CJ Stroud, doesn't he? But who knows? That's the if I had the answer to that, it'd be like having the sports almanac from Back to the Future. Remember, Bills GM was reminding us that a lot of Bills fans are actually angry when Josh Allen was drafted. Here's Jackson Jobe. Red rookie going to David and the Tigers, and here is Eduardo Quintero, 451 out of 499. I feel like Bobby Witt. Yeah, were people concerned about Bobby Witt being a star? Before COVID, Kroger had a town hall meeting. Rex is saying went to the Kroger Rex. They were willing to make change. Right. It's exactly what I said just a few moments ago, Rex. So my thoughts are confirmed. Hey, you don't make changes to a rapidly shifting retail landscape. You're not going to last very long. Jack Lyons, 58 out of 250. A habitual line stepper. Going to Coppola and the Rays. Here's your number one prospect. 121 out of 150, Roman Anthony. That's for EA and the Red Sox. I'd get a call-up at some point this year. And here's our third autograph. That's Chase Mobley. 65 out of 299. Yanka with the Guardians. Cleveland, this is for you. No relation to Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You never know. All right, so that's our third autograph. All right, another box coming up. I think it's because people think who may win MVP, Jaden Daniels or Bobby Witt Jr. I guess both could. Oh, what are you talking about, Grizzlebees? Just no word if they're related or not. Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, right, if Aaron Judge didn't exist, I feel like Bobby Witt Jr. would have a lot better chance, which would be good for the hobby. But Bobby Witt Jr. is a lot younger, so he might have his time. Pro Reefs make mistakes by enforcing what they believe and not listening to employee suggestions. They're getting better with that. And it turns out listening to the people that are on the ground floor, working with the general public day to day, might have some better feedback. You know, than those bean counters in the C-suite, right, Rex? Come on, giving themselves bonuses and lighting cigars with $100 bills and stuff like that. Talking on their gold-plated phones. Here's Kevin Castillo, 189 out of 399, paper for Jason and the Angels. Person Waldrop, red rookie. That's for David and the Braves. Yeah, you're talking about Ashton Genty? Yeah, I like that pick. I hope he we'll find out if last year's rushing struggles were based off of just Zamir White not doing it, or if it was a bad offensive line. We're going to find out. Nice, Charlie Condon autograph. 150 out of 499. Refractor autograph for the Rockies. Matthew Sherrod with it. That's awesome. Third overall pick. I think it's auto 1 of 3 of this box. Yes, Brandon, that's the red rookie shield. Topps has some sort of, I don't know the exact details of it, but I think if one of those red rookies win an award or something like that, then you could send it back in and redeem it for something. There's Sung-Shae Chang, 36 out of 100. Here's Aaron Judge to 199. Dylan Cruz, greatness loading for Ed and the Nacionals. The Aaron Judge, purple paper going to Tristan.
Comcast Business hasn't just powered businesses. We help turn them into logistics mastery, supply chain transformer, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying, Pokeball ordering,
Here's Esteban Gonzalez, 40 out of 100.
full access ready, data managing. Welcome to the world of modern businesses. Powering the engine of modern business, Comcast Business.
And the mini diamonds, Yanka with the Guardians. Cleveland, this is for you. Yes, they had that one hit. They're that one hit wonder with some song with a reference to Superman. Something about going crazy. Gonna be a Superman of some sort. Something super. And then Rex is gonna go, no man, they had tons of hits. I'll be like, yeah, nah. There's Jesus Lopez, 75 out of 125. It's going to go to the Rangers. That's going to be for Joe Downing. Should be one more. Running out of cards. There it is. There's Cody Freeman. I do not think a relationship with Freddie Freeman. He's way too old to be Freddie Freeman's kid. Right, yeah. Rex is going to try to tell me they had other songs in Kryptonite and blah, blah, blah. And he's going to be like, no, man, that record nobody listened to actually sold like 100,000 copies. And I'll be like, eh. Lung cancer? Or cancer that spread to his lungs? That does suck. Stage 4 cancer for lead singer of Three Door Down. Not looking too good for that one. Knocking on Heaven's Three Doors Down. Sasaki's Strikeout Showroom. And Slade Caldwell to 199. Nice one for Jason and the Diamondbacks. Jonathan Long to 499. And there are those red rookies right there. Clear cell renal cell carcinoma? Yeah, it doesn't sound good. I'm no doctor. Adrian Del Castillo goes to Jason and the Diamondbacks, and the Jonathan Long paper will go to Eric B. and the Cubbies. And we got another Chase Mobley autograph for Yanka and the Guardians. Cleveland, this is for you. You know, Rex, anytime you mention a public figure, it's very concerning because 99% of the time it's some sort of horrific bad news. You know, you're going to be like, yeah, remember that guy from that band? And it's like, yeah, I kind of remember that guy. Oh, yeah, well, you know, he was killed in a pizza dough factory. It's like, oh. It's never good news. Kai saying clear cell is not good. Poor prognosis. Yeah, you want. I guess you want opaque cells. Right, as a GI Joe, I'm only familiar with the GI Tract. That's where I missed the rest of medical school. Here's Orelvis Martinez, purple paper to 250, Toronto. That's for Matthew Wood. And here is Thomas White. Blue chrome to 150. That's Brandon with the Marlins, last spot mojo. Here you go, Brandon. Took advantage of the discount as well. On the board. They missed the mark on the hobby shop image. They had the player's favorite hobby shop just be Jaspy's. Should be. Oh, here's the Drew Thorpe red rookie, by the way. White Sox, David M. Here's Bryce Rayner, 137 out of 150, blue shimmer. It's going to go to David and the Tigers. Here's Kevin McGonigal, Professor McGonagall's grandson. Charlie Condon, Bowman first, Bowman Chrome first. You know how Professor McGonagall would transfigure into a cat? And now he's on a cat team? It's because grandson. It says on the back of the baseball card. You'll have to look that up.
Today she starts with a drive, but the real work came before. Inspired by a coach who recognized her potential. Morgan Stanley proudly supports First Team, driving progress for the next generation.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket comes in your choice of honey barbecue or new buffalo.
And here's our the Chase Mobley, the Thomas White, and here's our third autograph right here. Javier Mogollon? The Y pronunciation? 434 out of 499. Either way, it's going to go to David and the White Sox. Here's a JJ Weatherholt. Where's he from? Baltimore, Maryland. That sounds like an old money name, right? Like his family has they've been in the Baltimore shipping industry since like the Revolutionary War or something like that. All right, next one. I can't believe that the Grizzlebees, that Ichiro kid in this product, it says named after his father's Japanese buddy, Ichiro, not the baseball superstar. I don't believe that. I think his Japanese buddy was Ichiro, the baseball player. Rex looked it up, and Three Doors Down sold 16 million albums. You weren't the biggest fan, but you did like them. I only knew that one song. I think that's also what 16 million people also know. Right, yeah, the Weatherholts like started J.C. Penney or something. Woolworths or something like that. Or some sort of like plastics conglomerate. Hedge fund manager or something like that. There he is. Yeah. Watch, he's like, nah, I came from a working class family. You know, my parents are farmers. I'm like, oh, okay. Here's a Christian Campbell with the Bowman logo printed back there. I don't think these are very common. This is going to go to EA and the Red Sox. Yeah, no worries, Brandon. Thanks for getting in. Glad we could get you a hit. Here's Connor Norby, red rookie. It's going to be for Brandon and the Marlins. Corbin Carroll, that is. Try to mix Keller and Carroll together. Brody Hopkins to $4.99. $2.90 out of $4.99. It's going to be for Tampa Bay. That's going to be for Coppola. Like Brody, like that. That's like, his parents are like hippies or something like that.
Do you think Terminator 2 is the best Terminator number one?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's one of those.
I never really liked one.
Yeah, it's one of the few movies where like the sequel is better than the original.
Yeah. I fucking love the second one. I wish I was.
I mean, T2 was just miles better in like special effects and
I wish I was John Connor.
and all that sort of stuff.
He was such a cool kid.
Yeah, John Connor is pretty cool. Come with me if you want to live. Bryce Rayner, 5 out of 15. You're welcome, Grizzlebees.
for me, also is kind of a grind. So for me to grind that out in the second round, then to really
Oh, there's Kevin McGonigal.
thing that I can grow from and
He's a cat, just like his great grandmother,
use that momentum as well.
Professor Minerva
Let's
McGonigal.
dive a little bit deeper into Nelly's game as we check out this week's KPMG Performance Insights page. We're going to take a look at her approach shot proximity. What stands out to you about these numbers?
That's a massive shoulder number above the LPGA Tour average is between 175 and 200 yards. And for context, that would be a very, very long par four on the LPGA Tour. Or there's a good chance it could be a par five, which she's making out of
Here's a Kobe Mayo. Red rookie, Michael, and the Orioles.
Yes, she will always have strengths to her game. She's the world number one.
Nice Kobe Mayo, I think has been on the IL, but working his way back. Here's a Victor Rodriguez.
Season that we were expecting. Scrambling.
Dodgers. That's going to be for David and the Dodgers.
What do you notice about her game? Perhaps strength.
What break is this under?
This is Jumbo 3.
Nice.
Jumbo número 3.
Chevron Beach is just the struggles that she's had with the putter. And I think that's going to be, or that has been.
Oh, and that's a Charlie Condon. Now, what is this? Is this some sort of reptile skin or snake skin or something like that, Jason?
Yeah, those some
Sort of dragon skin?
Yeah, I don't know what they officially.
Some
call
sort of
it.
scale?
It's like a scale, yeah.
Some sort of scale? Part of a scaly animal?
Average. And then on the flip side, strength outside of 10 feet. And I think this is
That'll be for the Rockies. It's going to go to Matthew Sherratt.
10 to 15 feet. You can see almost 10% better than the LPGA average. She's made a ton of putts outside of 10 feet. She averaged 2 around. It's just those shorter putts has been a trouble point for Nelly Corda and certainly for somebody of her caliber. That's the point. It's not so much that she's a bad putter, it's that she's number one in the world. And we expect
And we got this card flipped around for no reason, I think.
LPGA Tour player. And so it's something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on in the future. Is she going to stick with one putter? Is she going to continue to change? Is she going to continue to search?
There's Didier Fuentes, 2 out of 50.
Excellent ball striking from Nelly.
Braves, that's going to go to David.
Interesting. I always think to look at the parallels between her and Scotty Scheffler as well. Both set on tour wins last year, and until last week, Scotty hadn't won either, but Nelly's still looking for that first win as well, no doubt. You would think
There's a Roki Sasaki die cut
that she's got a lot of pressure.
for the Dodgers. That's going to be for David. And here is the third auto. That's Ricardo Yan. 353 out of 499. Jason with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's a cold-hearted snake. Look into his eyes. Uh-oh, he's been telling lies. That was your 3, right? Yeah. We'll do a recap after those final 2 boxes. Cold-hearted snake. I think the Dodgers, my Dodgers are playing the Snakes next, I think. They're probably on a plane right now. What time did that game end? Hours ago. Probably en route right now. Question, Rex. Do you think the Braves could potentially trade Ronald Acuna Jr.? Sure. I suppose they could. I think he's got a number of years left on that contract, and Ronald Acuna actually signed that contract at a relatively young age. So relative to his ceiling, which is MVP, yeah, that contract's a bargain for someone who could be an MVP, if healthy, for any season. But for that very reason, I don't see why they would. feel like if the Braves wanted to trade anybody to try to get some to improve that team, I feel like they would dip into their farm system before they would trade Ronald Acuna Jr.
really highly up her character. Because the reality is, a lot of players would have taken the I want to build confidence and
All right.
be ready mentally by being confident.
The penultimate box, there's some Sasaki there. Charlie Condon. And an Asbel Gonzalez, 88 out of 199. Some sort of magenta shimmer? No, wave. Right here, Kansas City. It's going to go to David. Charlie Condon will go to Matthew S. And the Rocks and the Dodgers. That'll go to David. But yeah, at the end of the day, Rex, yeah, I suppose anybody could get traded. It's Corey Lewis, Purple Paper. Ronald Acuna Jr. And Shea Whitcomb. Or Whitcomb. Or Cool Whitcomb. Going to go to the Astros. That's for Matthew Wood.
You never know. You never know. You never know. And you never know what kind of talent this week will produce when it comes to that AJGA side of the event. You heard Yana say it there. This was a huge reason as PYT did decide to turn pro. So the confidence, I'm sure.
And do I think Marlins trade Sandy Alcantara? Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look up what his contract situation is. If this is his last year, then probably. You know, I mean, if he has a few more seasons left, maybe. You know, there's Jesus Mate. That's going to go to Tristan and the Brewers. Here's Yuri Perez, $2.99. But yeah, I suppose it's however depends on how many years are left. I feel like the Marlins kind of want to. They got some time left. They might not be looking to trade him until the off season. They kind of hope that he maybe ends up with some strong numbers, so they could get as much as possible out of him. It's Javier Vaz, 166 out of 499. That's going to be for the Royals. That'll be for David M. And yeah, if obviously Cubs could use the pitching, I feel like after losing Justin Steele for the season, it's just really just Imanaga, and then there's like a steep drop off to the next tier. No, Eric Houston, no exciting Padres yet. I mean, I suppose there could be some Padres that could be exciting in the future, but none at the moment. No Solace, no Lawler. Here's Slade Caldwell to 199. Jason with Arizona. I feel like these are one of the bigger name players that we're looking at here. Oh, right, and then Imanaga had that hamstring, which is not, hopefully not as serious, but yeah, they do need to. There's Kevin Alcantara. They do need to work on that pitching. That offense seems to play. And Kyle Tucker really does change that lineup. Here's D'Angelo Ortiz, 32 out of 75. This is wait, David Ortiz has 2 kids in this product? Because there's David Ortiz Jr., who's a little boppy, and then there's D'Angelo Ortiz. And the Red Sox organization, that's going to go to EA in Boston. Nice. Now, Alcantara is going to go to Eric B. and the Cubs. We got EA and EB. There's a Dylan Cruz die cut. That's for Ed and the Nats. There's David Ortiz Jr. There he is. He's with the Rangers organization. Got it.
Nothing scary about Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the #1 longest lasting AA battery. Get ready to take your game to new heights with School of Golf. Learn the pros.
Kevin McGonigal, greatness loading.
Elevate your game. New episodes now streaming on Golf Pass. Tomorrow on Golf Channel.
There's another son of a ball player, an SOB. I think outside of the Ortiz kids, there's another SOB, son of a ball player, of a former ball player in this.
Players, the player holding the top spot in these rankings at the end of the NCAA Men's Individual National Championship will earn a PGA Tour card.
There you go. Yeah, I knew that. Felt like there was a card stuck behind there. It's the auto. Sung Chae Cheng.
Women's NCAA Division I National Championships
Pirates.
next week at
It's going to go to Jeremy Port and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
California. You can catch coverage right here on Golf Channel. starting
Pow.
at 8:19. Now, the women's regionals wrapped up this afternoon. We had 72 teams who competed, 6 of which were sites to earn their spot at the Foster and the top 5 teams and leading individual who were not only
All right, final. Did I hear Jason yelled he pulled a Pearl Pack? Yes. If you heard him, I definitely heard him, Rex.
championship and for the first time while the usually rhythm
I pulled 2 in that hobby case that I did earlier tonight. There was an out of 5 autograph in there. And the sunflower seed parallel. That was my favorite. Is that what Baseball America said? Grizzlebees?
everything out there in the women's regionals this week. What has been your top moment? Give it to us.
Yeah, right. Baseball America, because like this product has a nice variety of top prospects and David Ortiz's offspring. I think there are Jackson Holiday cards in here, but not his Bowman firsts. I think his was last year, right? I think the Ortiz kids are the SOBs in here. Son of a ball player, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to insult their mothers. But I think there's one more. Michael was talking about the other kid today too. I think I remember the Ortiz kids. I blanked on the other ones. I feel like someone would tell me in the chat. Oh yes, Jonathan Long is in this product. Pearl pack. It's like an extra bonus pack that's in hobby boxes only, I think. And they have like another 4 or 5 additional cards in there, and they have parallels. Like one will be like sunflower seed parallel. One will be like Cracker Jack parallel, popcorn parallel. Here's Jackson Humphreys to 125. I think each pack might have an auto. It's for Yanka and the Guardians. At least the 2 that I had autos. Alejandro Rosario to 175. And Nick York, red rookie. Red rookie, send Nick York right over. All right, what are our final 3 autos going to be? One of them is going to be Ichiro Kano Hernandez. You telling me? I mean, I guess I got to believe him, right? I mean, recognizable first name came from father's Japanese friend, not baseball superstar. Unless his father's friend is Ichiro Suzuki, baseball superstar. But they went out of their way to say not baseball superstar.
Someone takes it away from them. They're the defending national champion. They've won 11 straight stroke play events. Dan Walker has built an absolute juggernaut in women's college golf. We had 4 players in the top 8 in the Northern Regional this week, including Andrea Walter, who's the 3rd player now in program history, along with Rose and Rachel.
Greatness loading, Charlie Connon.
NCAA regional title in the same year. But if there's going to be a team that knocks them off, I think you have to look at the Florida State Seminoles. They got the top 2 amateurs in the world, the Maribel team and Lottie Wood. They were both tied for 2nd at the Lexington Regional. They have 7 wins combined this season, Anna. 5 of those to Maribel. But also
There's Kobe. Hold the Mayo.
You're only as good as your best players, and I don't think anyone, including Stanford, has a better 1-2 punch than Florida State right now.
Easy Mayo is okay too.
Bringing us those headlines from the regionals this afternoon. I'm sure you'll be joining us next week for the national championship, so we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks a lot.
All right, should be expecting 2 more autos out of here.
Yes, it is. Speaking of which, Golf Channel
Maybe a train whistle? Let's see, a 101. Let's see an out of 5.
Championship coverage starting
Here's a Kevin McGonigal.
for the national title.
Christian Campbell to $3.99. Lava going to EA and the Red Sox.
Starting at 6 p.m. Eastern.
There's Professor McGonigal's great-grandson.
This week, including a few winners of the Arnica Award presented by Stiefel, the award given annually to top female U.S. collegiate golfers. They will be teeing it up on this week's LPGA
There he is.
Europe.
Number 10.
Open Ingrid Lindblad, already a winner on tour.
It's going to go to Tristan and the Brewers.
She's been fantastic for her country to get it up in the Seoul Hand Cup as
There's your red rookie, David Festa.
men's side. The Fred Haskins Award presented by Stiefel is awarded annually to the most outstanding male collegiate golfer. So let's take
And there is your second autograph, Nibel Mariano, another red, going to Brian. Brian V. And the Red Legs.
the big Oberg in 2010.
2 of the 3 autos going your way.
Morgan Central coming up after this.
There's David Ortiz Jr. Too bad Kobe wasn't born on May 5th. Because it would be Kobe Cinco de Mayo. Is that the joke, Rex? I mean, it could be. Doesn't have to be Cinco de Mayo. It could be like 6 de Mayo.
Sunny days, golfers.
20 de Mayo.
Vodka iced tea. Made with
30 de Mayo.
refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Golf is not a religion, but it does have cathedrals. These courses do more than just test your character. They review it. Peter Malone, the official outfitter of the United States Open.
It's all happening too fast.
Are you nervous about the wedding?
No, it's the house. We gotta prove.
Oh,
All right, and the final auto is Shea Coolwhit Comb. 103 out of 150. That's going to go to Matthew Wood and the Astros. Kind of does like CD Lamb's. Looks like CD Lamb's auto. All right, there you have it. Anything else here at the end? See? Oh, no. No, Tamar Johnson at the end right there. There's the break, ladies and gentlemen. 2025 Bowman Baseball Jumbo Edition 8-box. Pick your team number 3 from jaspyscasebreaks.com. Here is a recap. Back, from back into the front. Back and to the left. Back. Jesus Mate autograph was pretty cool. Back into the left. And the James Wood red rookie. And there you have it. Again, that was Pick Your Team 3 in the books. I'm Joe for JaspysCaseBreaks.com. And I'll see you next time for the next break. Bye-bye.